Meet Roy. He's a paralyzed cat in a diaper who often looks very disappointed in your appearance. But looking slightly judgmental didn't stop him from stealing the hearts of people all around the world. Roy is a rescue cat from rural Malaysia who has survived more in his short life than most of us will ever face, who considers eating a competitive sport, and who, against all odds, keeps on fighting. So stick around, because Roy's story is not just about a cat who can't walk. It's about a cat who refuses to quit. Life didn't exactly roll out the welcome mat for Roy. He was a neonatal kitten, too small and too vulnerable to survive on his own. Rescued as a newborn, he was taken in by a woman who would pour her heart into keeping him alive. And alive and healthy he stayed. He wasn't always a special needs kitty. For a while, Roy was just a normal cat doing normal cat things. Eating, sleeping, judging everyone around him. Then, at just 6 months old, life threw him his first curveball. Roy was diagnosed with FIP, feline infectious peritonitis, one of the most feared and devastating diseases in the cat world. His owner fought hard for him, and Roy, being Roy, fought harder. He recovered and went back to his regular life, his regular meals, and his regular look of mild contempt. For a couple of years, things were good. Then April 2025 happened. FIP came back for a second round. And this time, it hit Roy's central nervous system hard, leaving permanent damage in its wake. Roy went from a cat who walked, however wobbly, to a cat who could no longer use his back legs at all. He was paralyzed. That's when his current human, who had first pet sat Roy back when he was just a tiny 6-month-old disaster magnet, stepped in again. In June 2025, Roy came to live with her. Now, this woman who took him in wasn't exactly running a small, quiet household. She cares for over 50 other rescue cats at any given time. So Roy didn't come to a calm, peaceful sanctuary. He came to a full, loud, gloriously chaotic home full of animals who all needed love. And somehow, he fit right in. The little kittens helped keep him entertained, running around him as they put on a show for Roy to watch. The adults provide quiet company, lying by his side and keeping an eye on him. They don't bother him. Mom would never allow it. Instead, all these feline friends make up for everything life took away from Roy. He can't walk, but he can enjoy the company of other cats and feel like part of a big, loving family. Of course, Roy's daily life looks a little different from your average cat's. He wears a diaper, which he pulls off with surprising dignity, it must be said. He spends time doing physiotherapy and rehabilitation exercises at home because his mom was told something that keeps them both going. Roy still has reflexes. So they don't give up, because Roy certainly isn't giving up. And speaking of not giving up, let's talk about Roy and food, because this is extremely important and Roy would want you to know about it. Eating is, without question, Roy's greatest passion in life. His eyes light up at the sight of churro, the cat treat that apparently has the same effect on Roy that coffee has on the rest of us. The problem is that eating isn't easy for him. Because of his neurological issues, something as simple as taking a bite from a bowl requires enormous effort. His body doesn't cooperate the way it should. But does Roy let that stop him? He absolutely does not. He leans in, he tries again, and eventually he gets his meal. Every single time. His mom is so proud of him. Life outdoors is also part of Roy's routine. He gets taken outside for some fresh air and sunshine, which by any measure is good for him. But there's no way of knowing whether Roy likes this part or not. He keeps the same expression indoors and out. He's not ungrateful. He's just got a very specific look. Then came the vet visit that nobody was prepared for. Roy's face had been covered in blood. There was no obvious source, and he was taken to the vet, who found nothing serious in his mouth beyond some tartar and previously removed polyps. The bleeding was likely from his gums, possibly from chewing on something in his sleep. Roy, being Roy, had apparently scared everyone half to death by injuring himself while unconscious. Classic. But while they were at the vet, something else was discovered. Roy's heart rate was abnormally high. The vet performed an echocardiogram and further tests, and the results came back with a new diagnosis: hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM. His left ventricle wall has thickened, and there is backflow into his left atrium. Over time, without management, this could lead to blood clots or heart failure. It's suspected to be genetic, and there is no cure. It was not the news anyone was hoping for. But Roy's story is not the one about things going perfectly. It is a story about carrying on anyway. Roy is now on medication to slow the progression of his heart condition and lower the risks. The MRI that might tell them more about his neurological situation has been put on hold for now, while the heart condition takes priority. They are taking it one day at a time, as Roy's mom puts it. The community of Roy's online fans followed this brave cat's journey with a lot of love for him and his mom. And Mom reads the comments to Roy every day, the English ones, the Malay ones, and all the ones in languages she can't speak, because she wants him to know that people all over the world are rooting for him. Roy has been through a lot and continues to face challenges. He was rescued as a newborn. He survived FIP twice. He lost the use of his legs. He wears a diaper, does physiotherapy, and eats his meals with the determination of someone competing at the highest level. He has a heart condition and a face that looks like he's deeply unimpressed by the whole situation. And somehow, inexplicably, he is one of the most joyful things on the internet. Because Roy doesn't know he's supposed to have given up. He's still eating, he's still fighting, and he is, without a single doubt, very loved.